Hello and welcome to Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages. I am Riley Smurl.
I'm Sydney McElroy.
And I'm Taylor Smurl.
Sisters, a lot of exciting things have been happening lately.
Have they been?
Yeah?
Taylor's been to Japan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Riley started school.
That's not very exciting, but yeah.
I mean, it's your senior year. It's new.
Yeah.
It's different.
Yeah.
Charlie turned 3.
Mm-hmm.
That's a lot.
I somehow had to make a birthday party that was themed Trolls and Wreck-It Ralph 2.
And Willy Wonka.
And Willy Wonka.
Okay, well, how'd you do? How'd you pull that off?
She seemed to like it.
She loved it. It was mainly Mom. Mom did the hard work because she made a cake. And Riley, I think you helped a little.
I helped a little.
A little. And Dad actually helped a lot.
Dad made Branch on the cake.
Yeah. Dad
Trolls.
sculpted fondant.
Wow.
Into Branch.
Into Trolls. But the cake had all the Trolls on it, plus the Wreck-It Ralph figures. Although technically they were just Wreck-It Ralph 1 figurines. But
Yeah.
since Wreck-It Ralph 2 doesn't exist yet,
It was kind of hard.
it was kind of hard to get any knickknacks from it.
I mean, you could have put anything on that cake and been like, that's definitely from Wreck-It Ralph 2. This dinosaur? They're dinosaurs. Maybe. I don't know.
Also, I've heard there's a scene in Wreck-It Ralph 2 with every Disney princess, so you could have just put all the Disney princesses on there and said, oh, there you go.
She would have been fine with that.
Yeah.
And then there was a golden ticket on the cake too.
Mm-hmm.
And also Mom made a lot of features out of candy. So kind of a Willy Wonka-esque world.
And topped it all off with one of those birthday candles that's a flower that opens up and spins and sings music that was later smashed in the front yard because it wouldn't stop playing music.
It would never stop. I don't know if there's a way to stop it other than to smash it on your front walk.
Well, that's what we did.
Only with violence. I really want to read whatever bizarre fanfic this mashup is because I mean it's the rule of the internet. If you can think of it, it exists somewhere out there. There is that story out there. Wreck-It Ralph meets Trolls meets Willy Wonka. Somebody has done this. It's.
I need to look that. No, I was going to say I need to look that up, but I'm afraid to.
No, I was going to say it's probably explicit because also internet, but.
I know. Charlie can't know that story.
No,
but so lots of exciting things have been going on. Riley, how has school been?
Your
first 2 weeks?
Yeah, this is my third currently.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's pretty good. I go for 3 classes and I leave at 12:30. So,
as a senior, do you feel that you are ruling the school? Isn't that what you do as a senior?
The only thing that's nice about being a senior is whenever I was not a senior, I would look at all of the actual seniors and be kind of intimidated by them. And then now I look around, I'm like, oh, wait, they're not here anymore. That is me. Anyone I am intimidated by is either my age or younger than me, so I should stop doing that.
Well, don't intimidate yourself either, because that's.
I do that sometimes too. I'll walk by the glass in the hallway that's reflective and be like, oh, it's
senior.
okay. Senior.
That cool girl that doesn't seem to care. She's just so over it. Oh, that's me.
Oh, that's me.
Have you been afflicted with senioritis?
Already. I don't want to go to school. I'm a senior. I'm done. It's my last year. I'm going to get out.
Well, I mean, you're not done.
Yeah.
I am done.
No, you have to do the whole year.
No, but I'm done.
Right.
I'm in it. I did it. I'm done.
I heard. I understand that you almost had a gym class.
I almost had to take dance class at my high school, which is not like dance classes I have taken in the past that I have taken out of my choosing and for enjoyment.
Mm-hmm.
It is very much the opposite of that, and it was not enjoyable, and I was in it for 2 full days and quickly took the exit out of that class.
First of all, I mean, I think it is odd. So have you taken any gym class in high school?
No.
So
I haven't had a gym class, honestly, since February of my 8th grade year because I broke my ankle in March and was in a cast and a boot and couldn't do gym class for the rest of my 8th grade year. So it's been a solid 3.5 years.
I don't think this is unique. I only remember taking 1 gym class in high school.
I mean, you only have to take one.
I think there was only the one required one.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if that's typical. I would be interested to know if that's a usual thing. that if all high schools only require, across the country, only require you to take one gym class.
I mean, they only require 1 fine arts credit and 1 gym credit and 2 foreign language credits. So once you get all those out of the way, those are the only requirements other than your core classes.
I'm confused by that, just for the fact that it seems that like a fine arts class or a foreign language, you're learning something that you leave with and take forward. No hating on gym class, but it seems like that's like a general maintenance class, like an physical upkeep, not you learned all those important gym facts that one time. You're good for life.
I will hate on gym class because I do hate gym class.
I know what you're saying though, because if the gym class is like some sort of exercise based program of some sort, doing it once
in
like
4
1
years.
year once in 4 years does not
For 40 minutes a day.
Unless they train you, unless like you embody it and it becomes part of your routine. Although at this point, like you're in your senior year, I mean, it's too late now.
Also, like, it's not like we're like learning exercise skills or like
exercise
anything
skills.
that we could, you know what I mean? Like, it's not like we're like learning how to
sit up. It's in the name.
It's not like we're learning exercises that we can do at home or like how to have a healthy life. Like, it's just like playing basketball, like while doing a crab walk or something, right? Or
playing
soccer.
basketball while doing a crab walk, that would be
Crab
an
soccer.
intense.
That's crab soccer.
And volleyball.
Yeah, crab soccer was a thing, but I don't. Man, though, crab. You just invented crab basketball.
Crabsketball.
Crabsketball. The baskets would have to be very low, I feel
So
like.
it's soccer.
Do you have to throw the ball in the? How do you? It's going to be one-handed.
One-handed crabsketball.
Or you're gonna, or every time you take a shot, you're gonna have to roll onto your back, and as you're rolling, like
that's
like
good.
do like a ninja dive.
Yeah,
get your abs into it. That's good. That's good. A good abdominal workout. Crabsketball.
And that's how you do a sit-up.
That's how you do a sit-up.
you pretend to be a crab in a competitive sport.
It's a shame because, and by the way, we're talking about gym class now. Do you see how seamless that was?
Look at that transition. It almost would have been unnoticeable if you hadn't mentioned it.
Well, I felt like at this point I needed to make it clear this is this is what we will continue to discuss this episode.
You really pulled the curtain back there, Sid. It's really you kind of killed the magic
behind
we had
the
going
scenes.
there. That's all right.
I also was just really proud of it.
Yeah, well, I was too.
I was.
For a minute there. Was, yeah.
Keyword was.
I'll keep
cool.
trying.
So gym class.
But it's a
well,
shame
we ruined it.
because when my memories of gym class when I was little, when I was like in elementary school and somewhat in middle school, although much less so, or is that it could be fun. Like I remember for some reason part of gym class was always when they brought out the big parachute.
And you just got to sit underneath of it. Yeah.
All the little kids, you stand in a circle and then you hold a side and you make it go up in the air and then you get under it.
Yeah, and then you just like sit there on the edge of it under your like tent bubble.
Yeah.
The athleticism involved in that question. I mean, it was always the best day, but I don't know in my life would I've ever
Does not require any exercise skills.
I don't know. Like, it's not really applicable to like a daily fitness routine. And I whip out my personal parachute.
But where is that? Where is that class?
And then I sit on it.
Where is that like intramural like team sport coming back? Like I mean, you know, the millennials brought back kickball, right? Didn't you make competitive kickball a thing?
Oh, that's
I love kickball.
Or is that even before millennials? Okay, so we brought back adult kickball. Why not adult parachute day?
Crabsketball.
Or crabsketball. But no, parachute day.
Let's shelve crabsketball for a while.
But can you imagine? I could see a company like, I don't know, like Google do this or something. Like all the employees standing in a room in a circle with a parachute.
I can see Google doing that, or BuzzFeed, you know, something like that.
Do they do that kind of
companies,
stuff too?
It seems like something they do.
I feel
like write the name of their company across the top, be like Team Parachute Day.
I mean, everybody would love that.
Yeah.
If it was Team Parachute Day.
There might need to be a fair amount of adult beverages associated with that. Because as someone that has played in the adult kickball, there's a fair bit of adult beverages in that to make it fun.
You've played adult kickball?
Yeah.
I was so good at kickball in elementary school, guys. I loved gym class in elementary school. I loved it.
Kickball's a great game.
Yeah.
I loved kickball.
It made me feel good at sports.
Well, it's a really easy one.
Yeah, I know. You kick a ball and you run like 3 feet.
No offense to kickball, but it's kind of easy. But it was variable, though, because, like, you're right. Kickball was super fun and parachute day. And then there were all the days where they just made us run in circles because that's a good idea. I have a toddler. It's a good idea to have them run in circles occasionally to wear them out so that they sleep eventually.
Mm-hmm.
You know, kids have a lot of energy in there and you've got to use it. So they would have us just run in circles to music.
I remember that. We had the same gym teacher in elementary school, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah, he was a cool guy.
He was a cool guy. And I look back now and I think he must have been having some chill days when it was just like turn on the boombox.
And it was always the cool music of the day on Radio
Uh-huh.
Disney.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
That
I don't
wasn't
remember Radio
ours,
Disney. No, it was like 90s pop.
Yeah,
Oh.
Jock Jams, I believe, was
Yeah.
soundtrack for my gym class.
Some jock jams.
I did a lot of jump rope routines to Jock Jams.
Yep. Jump roping was a big part of that.
I was
Oh,
on
yeah.
the jump rope team.
As was I.
Mm-hmm.
Family
think
tradition there. Family pride.
No,
Jump
I
rope
don't think
team.
I was.
I used to be good at jump roping. I could do the whole
I-
thing where you cross it or like you
I can
twirl
do
it twice in one jump.
I did the jump for the heart thing
Mm-hmm.
where you like raise money by jump roping or something.
Jump rope until
Yeah.
you cannot jump rope anymore. Was it like a one of those dance-a-thons? But was it a jump rope thing?
I don't remember.
I feel like that might have been it.
I know it
Like you
happened.
jump roped all night or something.
Now, there was... I think actually you might be right.
I know, because I did it too, and I think like you stayed up all. It was like a fun party where they let you stay up all night in the gym, but also jump rope.
And I think, like, in elementary school and stuff, it made sense because, one, like I said, it's very practical. Kids have a lot of energy and they need activity. They need physical activity every day. And so a time in your school day where you're just supposed to do fun stuff and run around and be active is that's not a bad idea. It's a really good idea, in fact. So I support that fully. There were traumatic things like, I think we could all agree, dodgeball.
We were not allowed to play dodgeball.
Was it gone by the
It
time
was banned.
It was not banned when I was there.
That's good.
I remember Mr. P, our gym teacher, breaking the rules once and letting us play with like the really soft dodgeballs that
Like
like
Nerf balls or something?
yeah, something like that because they didn't hurt when you hit someone with them. And they were only like the size of like a baseball, like they were small. But we weren't supposed to.
Yeah, no, we played with those like playground balls.
Yeah, those
Yeah.
hurt.
Yeah, they do.
Oh.
Yeah, and I mean, so there were parts that I think pretty much everybody hated unless you just, I don't know, like you only like dodgeball if you have a lot of pent up anger and you just really want to
Or did you all
throw
ever,
balls really hard at other people. Other than that, I don't know why you would like dodgeball.
Did you all have to do like the fitness gram? I think is what it was called when we did it, but it's like the end of the year test to see how fit you've gotten, where you have to like do the pacer test and run so many times when it dings, but then like also just do things like reach your hands behind your back and see if you can touch them. You know what I'm talking about? Like reach one over your shoulder and then one around your waist and see if you can touch them in the back. That's one of the things we had to do.
Is this not the presidential fitness test?
I think that's different because I did have to do that later because that was the one that involved hanging on the bar instead of doing like, because it's different for boys and girls, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so I remember that like they made guys do pull-ups
And girls just had to hang there.
and you just had to hang on the bar as long as you can. And for me, it was like I stood on the box, I was in position, they moved the box, and I instantly dropped.
That was
and then they
how
tried it
I
again,
did.
and I instantly dropped. And they looked at me like, "What is wrong with your upper body? You
That
have
always
zero
kind of-
arm strength."
That always kind of insulted me because I've always possessed freakish upper body strength, and I'm like, no, let me go up and down. I bet I could do that a couple times. I don't want to. I don't like this gender divide on whether or not I can lift my body up and down. Like, what does
I
that have
agree.
to do with my gender?
I agree because I think there were probably guys who, like me, could not do pull-ups and couldn't hang either. So, like, it's not a gender thing. Some of us just have no arm strength,
Like me.
and me, and then some of us have a lot, like Taylor.
Like Taylor.
Mm.
But I mean, I remember it wasn't just like things that would make sense, like there was another gender divide. Like girls only had to do this many sit-ups, but boys had to do this many. You had to do like sit-ups and push-ups and do the pacer test, and you had to like ding, the bell dinged, and then you had to run back and forth before it dinged again.
And you do the different push-ups. The
yeah,
ones with
girl
your
push-ups.
Knees, that girl.
Well, they called them.
No,
girl
I mean
push-ups.
that is what they called them. Yeah.
But we also had to do things like you had to do like a kind of seal pose and see how far you could lift yourself up off the ground. You know what I mean? Like lay on the ground with your arms at your side and then like hold your chest up. I'm trying to demonstrate. I realize you can't see me. Like you had to like lift your chest up and see how many inches off the ground you could raise your chest.
I see what you're trying to say.
Yeah.
It's like a yoga thing? This sounds like a yoga thing.
Yeah, like you had to do that, and then you had to like,
flexibility.
what is reaching your arms behind your head and seeing if they can touch? What does that do?
I mean, I've had to do touching your arms behind your head because that's
no. Like
one
take
from below and one
from
above.
below and one from up top, and see if you can touch your fingers. Now we're all doing it.
Like you do when you're trying to scratch that space in the middle of your back.
Yeah, and you have to just see if you can do it on both sides. Like I don't how is that measuring my fitness? Am I less fit because I can reach my right arm and my left arm on my right side, but not on my left side?
I mean, you could be really not fit and just have really long arms, and that could be like, no problem. I got these long arms.
Or you could be really fit and have really short arms.
Yeah.
So physically fit and such long arms.
This sounds like something from like the 40s or something. Like, and look at those long arms.
I was gonna say Invader Zim, but all right.
You know that's a fine young man. Look at those long arms.
Sounds like something from an Archie, like back in the day Archie, not Riverdale Archie.
Hey, don't
you
knock
can
on Archie.
pick something off the floor without bending over. That's strength.
They seem like quite the catch.
Oh.
No, but then things did get rough. Like you go into a lot more. I felt like I did a lot more team sport stuff in middle school.
Mm-hmm.
We moved into like basketball unit, and I don't think we did
basketball unit.
Like it's the unit where you play basketball, and those of you who are bad at it, sorry, it's the next 6 weeks are gonna suck. And then there would be, I don't think we did football unit. We did volleyball. Volleyball was very big.
Oh, I hated volleyball. And I've always been, like, athletically very competitive. I've always been good at most sports that I've done. I don't know what it was about volleyball and me. To this day, I am just awful at it. Like,
I don't know.
Just dead in the water.
I mean, I was never particularly good. I don't remember it being something I was, like, particularly terrible at. It wasn't my thing. The only thing that was fun is that in middle school, at that time, our city had a hockey team here. The Huntington Blizzard used to be here, and they would come play us in volleyball.
Hopefully not too competitively. Like
no. Well, I mean, they were hockey players, so there was no reason to think they'd be particularly good at volleyball.
I mean,
except they were adults.
Dudes,
well, they were grown-ups. Yeah, they let our teachers play with us sometimes, but. But that's when things started to, I think, kind of go off the rails. Like, I remember fun moments, but then I remember also a lot of days where it was like, how can I convince my teacher not to make me do this dumb thing today, please? I really don't want to participate in this.
I think it's interesting how as we get older and it's kind of more important to be physically active. I mean, it's always important to be physically active, but I mean, as you're like becoming an older teenager, you have to go to gym class less and less. I mean, like in middle school for me, I don't know how it was for you all, but we had a schedule where we rotated. Every other day of the week was art class and every other day was gym class, and then we alternated on Fridays whether it was or alternated what days of the week, so whether we had 2 gym classes or 3. And then in high school you only have to have 1 gym class for 4 years, so it's like goes from every day in elementary school to every other day to just 1 day.
And
for 4 years.
I think what's odd, I think you're right, because I think what's odd about it too in high school is that you have to have 1 gym class, but there are a bunch of different things that qualify. Like there are lots of different offerings for the gym class.
We have weightlifting and gym class and dance class, and show choir counts as a gym credit.
Why was that not a thing back in my day?
Show choir counts. If you do ROTC, that counts. Marching band counts as a gym credit.
Does the Does the dance gym class carry on the great tradition of line dancing in gym class?
I actually.
I forgot about that.
Is anybody still doing the boot, scoot, and boogie? Follow-up question.
But the best answer to that is yes. And not only is it a thing that you don't know why people do it, but I was given a list of requirements that they follow for each gym class to make sure you're like, you are physically fit enough. I don't know, because I had to come up with my own gym class to do at home because I didn't want to take dance class anymore. And one of the suggestions, it gives suggestions for things they do in gym class to meet these requirements. And one of the ones for like coordination and balance was line dancing / square dancing. Like that was written on the official requirements for this county's gym standards.
I wonder if that's another. That's another thing I really wonder about. Is that everywhere?
Is it just West
I
Virginia?
want to know.
I mean, it can't just be West Virginia,
You're
but
learning life skills there.
I still remember that there's this complicated foot maneuver involved in a song that was called "Slappin' Leather" that I still am not sure.
What was it called?
Slappin' Leather. I'm still not sure if that happened in a dream or real life, but I'm pretty sure it was real life. But it had to do with like lifting up your boot and like slapping it with your hands in certain ways.
I had to do that.
Yeah, like on both sides. And
Yeah.
It looked cool when like the teacher did it.
Well, did it?
I mean, I guess it looked marginally less cool when I did it, so I was judging by like comparison.
There you go. I guess it's all
Super bad
relevant
when I did it.
I know in my middle school gym class, when I was at private school for our Halloween spooky unit, we had to come up with choreography to Thriller.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Hey.
And that was our assignment for like a month.
For a month?
Or October, spooky.
The entire month.
The entire month.
Choreography for Thriller.
Oh, that gym teacher was on chill mode. Like, October,
Yeah.
spooky time, right? Just make up a dance to this
Thriller.
to this spooky song. I'm gonna be in the back. Get spooky, kids.
Were you allowed to do the Thriller dance?
Well, we all learned the chorus together, which was the Thriller dance, and then we each had to come up with our own verse and then teach it to the other groups. So by the time we were done with the whole song, we had a different part was a different choreography.
This was just adult entertainment. Like
Yeah.
this was just to make the gym teacher laugh. Like,
Look at all these nerds in their uniforms choreographing a dance to Thriller.
That's like an absurd amount of time to do that. I've watched a lot of RuPaul's Drag Race, and I know you need like a day to choreograph a very impressive dance movement. Like, I think this is obscene.
Yeah,
I don't know. These were a bunch of private school kids.
private school nerds.
Yeah.
We can't dance.
Well, Riley, one thing we need to know, everybody's dying to know, is how you got out of gym class. But before we share that secret,
Let's check the group message.
all right, let's go.
We have a sponsor this week, sisters. Does anyone want to share who it is?
Well, I'll share who it is. I'm excited. Support for Still Buffering this week comes in part from Lola. And we've talked about Lola before. They offer a great product. It's a line of organic cotton tampons, pads, and liners. And the great thing about Lola that sets them apart from a lot of the other tampons and pads and things that you'll see in the supermarket is that they come in a simple, customizable subscription, so you'll never have to make another frantic trip to the drugstore. So it's really great. We got boxes of Lola products to check out, and it comes right to your door. It's in a nice little box. It doesn't say like, here is your tampon.
Here are your
subscription.
tampons.
Tampons.
Which personally I wouldn't really care, but I know some people would rather not like have tampons written on the. But whatever, and you can mix and match. Decide like, I want so many tampons, so many pads. I need this many super, this many regular, that kind of thing. And I will attest they're great quality products. They work great. They're comfortable. They're effective.
Mm-hmm.
And it's super convenient because if you know about when you're going to need them every month, you can just subscribe and they'll show up at your door.
Yeah, and I always have as many, if not more, than I need to carry over into the next month.
Yeah. So you never have to worry about, being caught off guard.
Yeah.
Which I know a lot of us are. And it's good to know major brands of tampons and pads and such use a mix of synthetic ingredients in their products, including rayon and polyester, but not Lola products, which are 100% organic cotton.
What?
And like I said, you can choose your mix of products, your perfect mix of absorbency, how many boxes you need, how often you need them to deliver. So if your periods are further apart or closer together, and you can change, skip, or cancel at any time. Now we have a special deal. Tay, would you like to tell them about their special deal?
Yeah, this is an awesome deal. You can get 60% off your first order. That's more than half.
That's more than half.
Yeah, I know math. You can go to mylola.com and enter still buffering, all one word, when you subscribe to get that 60% off. So that's mylola, mylola.com, and enter still buffering, all one word, and do that, because that's a big discount.
60%.
That's a great deal, and it really is a great product, and I think you really enjoy it if you check it out.
Yeah.
Since we were just talking about tampons real fast, I bought tampons when I was in Japan, and they wrapped it like it was like the dirtiest, weirdest thing you could possibly buy. Like, I got it at the convenience store, and then I opened my bag when I got home, and then like this just like, I don't know, like Ark of the Covenant, 5 black plastic bags wrapped around it, like we have it in your shame. And I'm like, what? It was intense.
I wonder if it's less. I don't know. If it's more taboo to talk about. I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, you know, it didn't seem like a big deal when I was buying them. I don't even know when he had time to do that. But unless they have them pre-wrapped behind the counter, like, here are your
Just
shame
switch 'em out real
tampons.
Maybe there's a code you should have known where you just go up and give them a certain look, and they're like, "Oh, okay, don't
Gotcha.
worry."
Yeah, I know. I felt kind of weird. Like, oh man, I should have treated this with more reverence. I just walked in cavalier-like and bought these shameful lady things.
Well, Riley, how did you manage to get out of gym class?
So, first of all, I'm not even going to say don't judge me or make fun of me, because I'm proud of what I did. And I am glad I'm not in that dance class anymore, because the 2 days I was in that dance class, for the 47 minutes I was in there for each day, were some of the worst moments of my entire life thus far in my almost 17 years on this planet.
That's
so,
a bad gym class.
Yeah, so I don't regret what I did one bit. And if you say I am scamming the system, maybe I am. But you know what? It works, and I'm not in that dance class. So, we have a thing at our school called an ELO, which is an extended learning opportunity, and you can do it for gym class, or you can do it, I get to go half day, and me doing, this is another me scamming the system, I'm just a terrible student, me doing this podcast is an ELO at school, so I get to go half day for that.
No, but
so there's that.
Wait, can this also
different.
be your gym credit?
Unfortunately, no, I don't get to do that much exercise while recording a podcast.
No, but
Exercising your
to be fair-
opinions.
To be
It's true.
fair, for the podcast, you do editing.
I
and
do
you
do
learn how to use all the
editing, and I
software
record, and-
yeah. So there's a lot more that goes into this.
Yes,
Than just
I am
recording.
doing much more with this podcast than I would be in regular classes at school that I would just have to take to fill up the rest of my day.
Than you would be in podcast class.
Then I would be in podcast class. Or like they give me credit for like a mass communications class. So like basically the same thing.
Sure.
But you can do it for sports if you play a sport through the school to get a gym credit.
Mhm.
And I thought about the beginning of this year, I was like, maybe I can just like do a team sport for a year. Like I'll join the swim team or the cross country team or the soccer team, and I'll just do it because it's like a month long or 2 months long depending on the sport, and I get a gym credit and I don't have to take a gym class, and it could be fun. But then they changed the rules, so you have to do it for 2 years in a row, and I do not have 2 years left.
Huh.
So I came up with a way to do my own ELO where I work with a personal fitness trainer 3 days out of the week.
You have a personal trainer?
I do, at our
Wow.
local gym,
Wow.
and I'm
jealous.
You need to pay
fancy
for it,
kid.
which you know isn't great because you don't have to pay for gym class. But I get out of gym class and he just has to sign a paper and say that I'm fit. And I have to take like the fitness gram and give a PowerPoint presentation to the gym teachers
On
about why
fitness?
I'm fit.
You don't just have to like stand up there and flex your biceps and say, "Check out the gun show."
Yeah, that's
And then
basically
that's
it.
it.
I hand out little paper tickets, and then when they ask what they are, I say tickets to the gun show, and I show my biceps and leave, and they give me 100%
And
full
they
credit
stand
gym
up
class.
and start a slow clap for you.
Yes.
And they've never been prouder of a student.
And they give me 7 gym credits.
Right. Because you're the fittest student that's
Fittest
ever...
student in the whole school.
Doing a PowerPoint presentation for gym class sounds pretty
No, that's
whack.
kind of ridiculous. Like, they make everyone that does an ELO make it like a 18 slide PowerPoint about why what they're doing counts as gym class. But I mean, if and in this dance class, a lot of things happen in 2 days in a total of 94 minutes.
I was
A
gonna
lot
say,
of things
what,
happen.
what dance did they make you do that was just so bad?
The forbidden dance.
Oh, no.
If I had
Did you have
3
to slap
hours,
leather?
I could
It
explain.
was the Macarena.
I could explain to you
Just over and
why-
over again.
why this was so terrible. There were a lot of things that happened. The only requirement to make it a gym class at school apparently is that you do the fitnessgram at some point in the year. So if, like, you're in marching band, you still have to take the fitnessgram. If you're in show choir, you still have to take the fitnessgram. So doing an ELO, you're doing this anyways. So I'm basically doing more than I was in dance class, and we were going to get it out of the way at the beginning of the year, and the rest of the year we would do nothing. But, like, for example, let me tell you what one of my first assignments was. You had to demonstrate an asymmetrical and a symmetrical movement with your body.
Just so that
So,
you
like-
knew the difference
So, like,
between...
you knew the difference between symmetrical and asymmetrical. So, like, symmetrical, for example, would just be, like, standing with your arms out to the side so your body is the same on both sides. And asymmetrical would be standing with one arm up and one arm down. Dance class.
That's, I mean, yes. It's
But-
like you got
yeah.
it right.
But it's not movement. Like, it's not like dancing. It's
You just
literally
stood
just a pose.
Is that how you kids dance now?
We just pose symmetrically and asymmetrically, and you would not believe the amount of tries it took for some of the people in my class to understand the difference between the two.
Well, this is just a vocabulary problem that we're having.
Yeah.
Or a geometry class problem or something.
And
Other
I was
classes
wearing
would have solved this.
I was wearing a skirt on this particular day, and we had to do crunches, and I was wearing a skirt, which was very
Didn't you have
uncomfortable.
to change?
No, she didn't tell us that we had to change, and didn't tell us to bring clothes.
Okay.
She said there was
'Cause
only
we
one
always
day
had
out
to
of the week
change.
we'd have to change on
Oh.
Workout Wednesdays, as they called them. I never made it to a Workout Wednesday. I only made it
Workout
to
Wednesdays.
a Thursday and a Friday. But the worst thing about this dance class was the very first assignment we were given on the very first day of school. And I will say, in this particular dance class, there were about 30 students in there. I was the only senior because everyone else is smart and gets their gym class out of the way before their senior year. It was all females and a female dance teacher. And our assignment was a SMART goals fitness sheet that we had to fill out that had a goal that we wanted to accomplish in our first month of dance class, which, like, before I get into what that means, it's a stretch to get anything done in that dance class. Like, anything I would have written down as a goal would not have happened because it was just, like, posing in various forms. But our
Master asymmetrical movement. That is my goal.
know the difference between symmetrical and asymmetrical.
Learn to spell the word asymmetrical.
But it had to be a fitness goal, and it couldn't just be like, you'd think in a dance class you could write something down like, learn this style of dance, be more flexible, learn how to do this dance move. No. it what?
Nothing. Just carry on.
It had to be numerical. You had to be able to measure it and had to be able to keep track of it and know when you had met this goal. So
like, I'm going to do 85 plies.
that's an odd goal.
Is that
Like,
a goal?
consecutively?
Yeah.
That'd be a good butt workout.
85 consecutive plies
That's just like 85 squats.
in like 3 minutes.
That's a lot.
That's numeric.
I was just trying to come
But
up
it
with
could-
something you could do.
It could not be that either.
What about,
I'm going to
like-
slap leather 42 times.
It had to be in terms of your body and your personal fitness in a number. So it had to be, I want to lose this many pounds, or I want to lose this many inches off of my waist, or the examples she gave to this class full of, they were all freshmen or sophomores, so like 14 and 15-year-old girls.
This makes me angry.
What
Yeah.
about I'm going to grow taller?
What about I'm going to add 3 inches to my biceps? Like, why
Would
you
that
gotta
have been
get small?
acceptable?
Had to be losing,
It had to be losing?
so you could measure.
'Cause I think I would be tempted to write on it like, I'm gonna gain 10 pounds, and then just carry it up and look her straight in the eye and say, what?
What?
Go ahead. Say anything. Say anything. My mom is gonna eat you for breakfast.
I think what Riley said is, I'm gonna gain self-worth, and that means I'm gonna leave this class. So bye.
I'm gonna lose how many minutes off my school day?
47. Yes, I will do
Lose the
that.
class, lady.
That's terrible. Obviously,
Yes.
that's
And
It's
terrible.
like the 1940s.
I seem-
Like, are we really like,
Yeah.
hey, let's break out our tape measures. Let's look at our waistlines, ladies. Like, what is this? This is so
And I seem to be-
nonsense.
we must increase our bust.
Oh, how is this? No.
And I seem to be the only person in that entire room, including the teacher, that seemed to have any sort of problem with this.
What if there were? I mean, there. I don't even. You can't quantify a person like that. Like, but also like, probably some people didn't need to lose anything. Like, just even like from a health standpoint, like, why is that a goal? Like, no, it doesn't matter how big you are. You definitely need to lose something. Trust me, you're a woman.
Trust me. Yeah. No, yes. Exactly. Well, that's the message.
Oh.
Yeah.
It's so terrible, but I just keep thinking about like writing on the piece of paper, like, I want my shoe size to go from a size 8 to a size 11. I don't know how you do that in dance class, but can you make my feet really big?
I want to lose half an inch from my chin. It's a little out of proportion with my face.
Can I make my eyes bigger?
No,
I want my
that's
number of I want my number of teeth to increase by 20. Is that possible?
I want my eyelashes to grow by a full inch.
No, tell you what. End of the semester, I'm gonna get a haircut. 5 inches, guaranteed. We're done here.
I want to lose 5 inches of hair.
Wow. Is there like a thing that's like seems like that should not be allowed for lots of reasons?
No.
Well,
No,
I
I don't
mean-
understand why that would.
Yeah.
I don't understand why that would have anything to do. I mean, obviously that's wrong. That's very harmful for self-esteem, and that's not body positive, and
It also has nothing to do with
it has
dance.
nothing to do with dance. I mean, there's just on all levels, this is nonsense.
Yeah. And I mean, joking aside, I felt very bad because looking at this, I realized this is not cool. And I did not feel like I had to lose a certain amount of weight just because I understood that, like, this is not a good thing for young people to have to think about. Being a teenager is already hard enough with self-esteem issues.
Seriously.
Sure.
But we had to split up into groups to do our asymmetrical and symmetrical movements. But I was in a group with 3 girls. I didn't. I know. But
We had to work in teams to figure it out.
We couldn't figure it out on our own.
Over here cannotting. Go ahead.
But I was in a group of 3 girls they didn't know who all happened to be freshmen. And they kept referring to me as the skinny girl, which, like, I do not see myself as a skinny girl, but these girls did and kept calling me the skinny one. And kept saying that they wrote on their sheets that their goal was to lose, like, one of them said 100 pounds, one of them said, like, 50.
Oh, this
And
is
I just felt terrible for these probably 14-year-old girls who are sitting there looking at me and saying,
Well,
I want to be like that and I want
But
to
that's
lose
not
100
nice
pounds.
either to call you the skinny girl.
Well, yeah, but I
There's-
mean, like,
None,
I didn't.
none of this is. I mean, none of this is. It perpetuates the myth that health and fitness equals weight,
Right.
Yeah.
and that's the only, like, all it has to do with is weight. So you should work out and you should exercise and you should do this stuff because then you'll lose weight and you'll look better, and that's nothing. Like the reason that I think there is some validity to gym class is that exercise is good for your body. It's good for your heart and your lungs and your muscles. It makes you feel better. You sleep better. You're less likely to get depressed. I mean, there's a lot of
Get to
health
play with a
benefits.
parachute.
You get to play with a parachute. There's a lot of health benefits to exercise. There's a lot of personal and social benefits to teams and working in a team if you're talking about sports. But none of this has anything to do with weight.
Well, that seems like such a missed opportunity because I think learning how to integrate like physical fitness into your adult life, it's something that's kind of, it's hard to figure out, and we don't really get a good guide on how to do that. And that's, it seems like that would be something that you could actually learn at that age and start to integrate in like a reliable, like doable way. But that's not asymmetrical movement and crazy weird size goals.
No,
Yeah.
I don't blame you for dropping this gym class.
Yeah.
This gym
I mean,
class
like,
is
it already.
bogus.
it already extended my day by a full hour, which I did not appreciate. Having to leave school at 1:30 instead of 3:30 or 12:30. Oh man, that was rough. But also, it was just a terrible, terrible class.
And apparently it made you worse
hated
at
it.
math. Look at
And
that.
it made me worse
You
at
don't
math.
even
I
know
couldn't
how to
even know
subtract an hour.
an hour before 1:30.
That's even worse. I took a gym class. The only one I took was called personal fitness. And basically you just hung out in the workout room for that hour.
Mm-hmm.
And you did whatever you wanted. And
Yeah.
I think there was a teacher. He was there sometimes.
Maybe.
Occasionally, we got to listen to whatever music we wanted, and we would sit in the corner and talk, and then occasionally, like, walk on the treadmill. But I got the Presidential Fitness Award for that class.
There you go.
He gave it to all the girls in the class.
Hmm.
How about that?
Hmm.
Thank you, gym class. You taught me
Interesting.
valuable life lessons.
Yeah.
Thank you very much. So I got a Presidential Fitness Award. I still can't hang on that bar.
Yeah. I can't either.
I'll never be able to hang on that bar. I mean, like, I can hang, like, I could
Hang on it.
hang on it, like my
like monkey
hands
bars.
work.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah. Gym class sucks. One time I got my only ever C on a report card because I broke my ankle and was in a full-on cast and had to walk on crutches, and I missed the day I broke my ankle. I missed school and missed the push-up test that determined our whole grade for the quarter. And when I got back, I couldn't make up the push-up test because I could not even walk. So I got a C that semester.
Oh,
Wow.
Yeah, gym class sucks.
it does. Except for the one that I spent hiding under the bleachers and reading Animal Farm.
Well,
That was
Nerd.
a great gym class.
Animal Farm is not a great book.
I like Animal Farm. It's a good book.
Why you would choose that, I am unsure. But hey, you didn't do gym class.
A lot of kids had been required to read it, and I hadn't, and so I thought I'd missed out on something, and I wanted to see what they got
You're
to read.
such a nerd.
I was required to read 19. It was like some kids had to read 1984 and some had to read Animal Farm, and I read 1984, which I really enjoyed, but I also wanted to read Animal Farm, so I did that instead of gym.
Again, I mean, it's just, you know.
You know,
Um,
that was a great gym class.
She was exercising her mind. But
There you go.
exercise.
Probably doing more actual help than actual gym
I
class.
learned more than like the push-up test would have.
Yeah.
Would have taught me.
You were also
It's true.
exercising, like, I don't know, the skill to hide effectively.
Yeah.
That seems
go.
athletic to assert. Evasive maneuvers. Evasive maneuvers.
There you go.
Now those will serve you well.
That sounds like how Mom would have justified it, like if
Yeah.
I'd have gotten in trouble.
Yeah.
She was practicing evasive maneuvers, and that is very important. My
Sounds
child is going to get an A in this class, and I'm going to scream until you give it to her. We love you, Mom.
Yeah.
Mom
We
endlessly
appreciate your scamming the
advocated
system
for
very
us.
much.
No, she endlessly advocated for us all through school.
Yeah.
And anything that was unfair, she took it down.
Mm-hmm.
Kicking and screaming, she took it down. So.
This is off topic. I just want to share this before we finish up here. Speaking of unfair things at school, do you know what they got rid of this year for my senior year of high school?
What?
Senior Color Day.
Aww.
Aw.
We don't get a Senior Color Day. First class in the entire history of our high school that does not have a Senior Color Day.
Do you still get colors?
Nope.
Really?
It's all.
They pick them, but we do
black and white
nothing
now,
with
and
them. It's all black
they
and white.
removed color from the
They
school.
decided that if we wanted a Senior Color Day, we could wear our senior colors to graduation practice, which is in the evening and after the seniors' last day of school. So,
Well-
there's that.
Well, you can just make up your own.
That's what we said. They said they didn't want them missing a day of school, but we were like, well, senior skip day exists anyways. Like, just wear our senior colors to school one day. Which it isn't missing a day of school. We go to an assembly, and they give out superlatives for 45 minutes, and then we all have breakfast together for 45 minutes. Like, we miss an hour and a half. But, you know,
Well, I'm sorry, Riley,
it's okay.
but at least you got out of gym class.
At least I got out of gym class. Horrible gym class.
Yeah.
Well, thank you, sisters, for reminiscing about the good, the bad, and the ugly of gym class.
So, the parachutes
It's not a
The
crab soccer
dodgeball
and parachutes.
and the crabsketball.
there you go.
Crabsketball.
Thank you for listening. If you like our show, you should check out all the other shows on our network, MaximumFun.org. Lots of other wonderful podcasts. If you want to email us suggestions or questions or topics that you think we should talk about, please do so at stillbuffering at MaximumFun.org. If you want to tweet at us, you can tweet at us at stillbuff. We're still buff from all the gym class.
Still buff from the gym.
At stillbuff. And thank you to the Novellas for our theme song, Baby You Change Your Mind.
This has been Still Buffering, a sister's guide to teens through the ages. I am Riley Smurl.
I'm Sydney McElroy.
And I'm Taylor Smurl.
I am a teenager.
And I was
crabsketball.
I knew it.
Can we play some beach crabsketball when we're together?
Let's do it.
YouTube
Right now.
Hi, I'm comedian Emily Heller.
And I'm cartoonist Lisa Hannawalt.
And we're the hosts of Baby Geniuses.
Do you want to learn weird new facts?
Do you like hearing successful, creative women talk about their poop?
Do you want the scoop on Martha Stewart's pony?
If you answered yes to any of these questions, our show is for you.
We interview people like Paul F. Tompkins,
Kristen Shaw,
Michael Che,
and more. So check us out on Maximum Fun.
and let us mess up your brain.
Yes, please.
Baby geniuses, we know everything. Baby geniuses, tell us something we don't know.
MaximumFun.org.
Comedy and culture.
Artist owned.
Listener supported.